Hey y'all, it's your girl Breezy, and you know I love to run my mouth. I'm late, but I am here to run my mouth about All's Fair, episode 5. When I get done recording this, I'll be recording episode 6. I have watched and taken all my notes, so we're going to talk about it. Before I get into that, make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit that notification bell so that you can be notified when I do come to run my mouth and when I post anything else. Okay, we get to meet Car's daughter, and they seem to be would you say two sides of the same coin? Like she literally birthed a mini her. So they're talking about the girl's birthday. She's apologizing because she has something for work to do. She cannot be at the girl's birthday celebration, which is very weird to me because it's like, okay, you're an attorney, but at the same time, you could make your schedule so that you could be with your daughter, hanging with your daughter, celebrating her birthday. They're talking about this birthday party and how basically she want the maid and the nanny there. Then she asked about Uncle Sebastian. And I'm going to just talk about all of the Car and her daughter stuff together. Like, of course, it wasn't in the same scene, but we're just going to talk about it. We also find out that Car, very much like Emerald, had her baby. Basically, she didn't do insemination like Emerald did, but basically she had her baby with her best friend who was not going to be the father. She just wanted his sperm so that she could have a child. And apparently Car is a bitch to everybody because when she goes to, the girl calls him Uncle Sebastian, when she goes to his house to talk to him to tell him that the little girl wants him at her birthday party, which he of course wants to be there, Car is like trying to act like she don't know what happened with them, but he basically says like, girl, you sued my husband for child endangerment when he took the girl for a hike without her backup inhaler. Not that she didn't have her inhaler, but without the backup inhaler. And Carl was like, oh, okay, that's fair. So they mend to make up or whatever. Later on in the episode, her daughter's in her office and she's like, you know, I know you're miserable at the school. We're going to help you write an essay so that you can get into this little fancy school, very competitive. It'll be kids on your level. And we find out that Car is a cutter, or was a cutter. I mean, I guess if you're a cutter, you probably always are, because you probably always have that desire to cut yourself. And that's why she wears the gloves. So I actually like that little piece of information of like knowing that she's like, we know she's messed up, but you kind of get to see like how messed up she is, and that even in all her fashions and regalia, like the gloves are about hiding those scars, which was very interesting to me. So we meet the next divorcee, which is Brooke Shields. I really love how they, again, are bringing in like all of these stars to be the wives. Like we had Jessica Simpson, we got Brooke Shields this episode. Brooke Shields look a little different. But when I saw her, I was like, that looked like Brooke Shields, and I had to go and Google and confirm it. Yes, it was her. So Brooke Shields' case is she's a woman who is married to this man who has Alzheimer's. He's basically declined down horribly. He doesn't recognize anybody, and I didn't get from what they were saying how the daughter is the one that's in charge, but the daughter is the one that's in charge of all his stuff. And she wants to divorce the man, but she feels like the daughter is not going to amend the prenup. And she's like, you know, I want to live, I want to be free. Basically, like I became a housewife. I allowed him to live his life. He was doing all of the things that he wanted to do, and I was living through him. But now I want to live my own life, my own travels, my own things. And they have a mediation with the daughter, and the daughter's like, you know, you leaving, and, you know, how do you know he doesn't recognize the voice? And she like, girl, does he recognize your voice? Which, you know, really made the daughter sad. And then they talked, and like the mama came on the other side of the table. Because, you know, when you in mediation with the lawyers, you on one side, y'all are on opposite sides of the table. She comes around the table to comfort her daughter, telling her like, I'm not leaving you or daddy. I just want to be free. What I didn't understand is, why do you need to divorce him? I guess maybe she want to do the bump with somebody and not feel guilty that she's sleeping with somebody and she has a husband, because it didn't make sense to me when she was like, I want to travel. I want to see things. I want to do what he did. So you want a divorce? Girl, he's in a facility. Get on a plane and go somewhere. Like, it didn't make sense to me, but that's what she wanted. We didn't hear anything more about that case, but how emotional they were, they kind of felt like it was a win, and the daughter was going to give her what she was asking for, because she was just explaining to her as a woman how she gave her life and how she wanted to do these things, and she wanted to be free and she wanted to be divorced. But the prenup is very restricting and wouldn't give her much. She'd basically be left without nothing. Anywho, so the mediation that Car went to, Car is hilarious to me. The mediation that Car went to, where she couldn't be there for her daughter's celebration or whatever, she gets in there, and as soon as they at the table, they haven't even started talking good. She crying. She's upset about not being there for her daughter. And the client was being very rude to her. Like, girl, are you crying? Like, what is this? Oh my God, I'm so sorry for my lawyer. Like, talking shit to Car. And Car was like, girl, I quit. You ain't got to worry about firing me, because, baby, I don't got time for you. Car went off on her and left out of the room. And then that's when we get introduced to, dang, I can't remember what the lady's name is as a character, but she is the actress Lorraine Toussaint. And she goes out there and talks to Car and, basically like gives her some encouraging words and like tells her how, she's been watching her and she likes how she does or whatever. And that comes back around. Car goes to Chase's house to discuss the case and all the other things. And there is major sexual tension between these two, which was wild to me. And so she's looking at his hair like, man, you a grease ball. You need to wash your hair. And so she takes his hair down and starts like washing his hair. And he looking at her real like sensual. They drinking and all that. And she was talking like crap to him, but it was not phasing him. It was really like it was turning him on. Because the more that she was talking junk to him, the more he was looking like he wanted to eat her alive. And I was like, oh, is y'all about to get freaky? But they didn't. And Car is super, super drunk. Super, super drunk. And she gets pulled over by the police. She blows in the breathalyzer machine and she is way over the limit. They lock her ass up. And the lady, I'm going to have to figure out what her name is on the show, but the lady who she met at that first mediation comes and bails her out. And the lady tells her like, hey, I want you to be my partner. I know you good. You are basically like a beast like myself. And I want to help you take down Alora Grant because I can't stand the bitch because every time we in court, she's always in my shit, getting my shit thrown out, getting my shit moved out. And so I want to take her down. And I got some juice on her that's going to help. Still weird for me that Alora is so invested in Milan. And I think that she later tells us when she talks to the police. So let me stay on this. It's weird for me how invested Alora is with Milan and her being pregnant. She goes over to Milan's and they're talking about, have you told Chase? Do he need to know? Milan feel like he does. So she calls Chase and tells him she's pregnant. She don't need him. She gonna do it on her own. Well, baby, they have now ruled that man Lloyd Watson, the guy who assaulted Emerald, they have made his cause of death a murder. Now, so now they're looking for like what's going on. So they're coming in there with warrants. They're like, we need your computers, we need your phones. They have 2 warrants because whatever the first one was, it did not cover them being able to go into the devices, but the second one did. And so they're looking at like all of the technology that Alora and the crew used in order to find him and all that kind of stuff. And apparently Alora's phone had pinged in an area near his. And she was like, well, girl, my assistant is pregnant by my husband. And weirdly, like I said, I'm invested in it. It felt like it was mine. And so I was over there. You can call her and find out. The lady was looking at her like, oh my gosh. Imagine you going to work and you're going to an officer, thank you for to solve a murder. And the lady tell you, babe, I was only over there because my husband was sleeping with my assistant and she's pregnant by him. And I'm invested in her being pregnant. That was like a bomb drop. That lady's mouth was wide open. Dina came in there and shut it down. Like, girl, what are you doing in here talking to these people? Why would you be in here talking to these people? You're an attorney. You should know better. Laura, like, I don't got nothing to hide. She's like, that's the main reason why you need to have an attorney. Like, let's go. Ma'am, I know you don't think that this is how it's supposed to go. Get on up out of here. Be out. And then Dina goes home. Doug tells her finally that the man said, baby, we in the last days. He been told me weeks ago and I should have told you, but I'm dying. And it ain't no coming back from this. This is like, ain't no more old treatments, ain't no more experiments. Like, we just finna settle in. Like, I'm about to be up out of here. And she hugged him. She went downstairs and she had her little breakdown. She cried. She broke dishes, vases, and all kind of stuff. And so I felt bad for Dina because, you know, you've lived your life with somebody and you're physically seeing them deteriorate. And now you know officially at any time they could be gone. So sad. But y'all, that was All's Fair, episode 5. Of course, it's a season 1. I heard they got a season 2 renewal, which is very cool. I saw on the Hulu app that there are 9 episodes. So this is episode 5. And I'm going to come back, like I said, I'll be dropping episode 6 right after this. So look out for that. And then we have 3 more episodes and that'll be the season. Tell me what y'all think. Are you enjoying it? It has gotten so much better. Like even Kim Kardashian being Kim Kardashian has gotten better. Tell me if y'all watching. Tell me what you think. Drop your comments down below. Make sure you like the video. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so that you can be notified the next time I come to run my mouth. And make sure you come back. Okay?